Today, we're going to dig into a classic story to understand a very modern problem, the bad faith argument. It's a really powerful lesson about what happens when pure, simple logic goes right up against a mind that's already made up.
So let's just jump right into the big question here. Think about it. Can you really win an argument when the other person isn't even interested in the truth? When they've already decided on the outcome? Well, that is the exact spot our poor sheep ends up in.
All right, let's get into the setup. I'm calling this part a predator's ploy, because right out of the date, we meet our two characters, and it's crystal clear that the power dynamic is, well, completely lopsided. So here's the scene. A hungry wolf spots a lost little sheep. Now, he could just attack, right? Simple. But he doesn't. And this is where it gets really interesting. He decides he needs to create a pretext, some kind of logical-sounding reason for what he's about to do. He wants to prove he has the right to eat the sheep. You see, this isn't just about being hungry. It's about making it look legit. And that little ploy? It leads us right into the heart of the story, which is basically a trial of excuses. The wolf starts throwing out these escalating and, frankly, pretty ridiculous accusations. So the wolf kicks things off with his first big accusation. He claims the sheep insulted him a whole year ago. Sounds serious, right? But the sheep, well, the sheep has the perfect comeback. A simple, irrefutable fact. I wasn't even born last year. Score 1 for logic, 0 for the wolf. And this really shows you the sheep's strategy, which is just pure, simple logic. It doesn't get emotional, doesn't yell back. It just uses facts to take apart the wolf's flimsy claims. So the wolf doesn't give up. He tries again. New charge, trespassing and theft. "You're eating grass in my field," he accuses. But again, the sheep just calmly hits him with another undeniable biological fact. It's too young, it doesn't even know how to eat grass. Yeah, the wolf's case is not going well. All right, third time's the charm, right? The wolf gives it one last shot from another angle. "You're drinking my water." But once again, the sheep's logic is just airtight. It's a lamb. It hasn't even had a drop of water yet. So that's it. 3 accusations, and all 3 have been completely logically shot down. So let's be real clear about this. The sheep has totally won the debate. On points, anyway. The wolf has absolutely no logical ground left to stand on. And this, my friends, is where the story takes a really dark and revealing turn. Let's just hang on this for a second. By any fair measure of a debate, the sheep is the clear winner. Every single complaint has been answered perfectly. The wolf's whole pretense of justice has completely fallen apart. It's in shambles. And then this happens. The wolf just drops the whole act. This line is absolutely chilling because he actually admits the sheep is right. He says, "You have answered all my complaints well," but then he shows us true colors. The argument was never the point. His hunger, his desire, that's the only thing that actually matters. The so-called logic was just a game. And what happens next is as fast as it is brutal. With his fake arguments totally exhausted, the wolf just gives up on them. He goes straight to pure force, jumps on the sheep, and eats it. Reason isn't just defeated by a better argument here, it's just crushed by brute force. So, what are we supposed to take away from this pretty grim little story? Well, that brings us to the timeless lesson at the heart of this fable, the tyrant's excuse. It all boils down to this idea we can call the tyrant's excuse. Basically, people with power who want to hurt someone, they will always cook up some kind of justification for their actions. The excuse is never the real reason. It's just a smokescreen, a tool to create the illusion that they're in the right before they do what they wanted to do all along. And that leaves us with a really big, important question. This story isn't just about animals in a forest. It's about a pattern of behavior. The real challenge for all of us is learning to see this dynamic in our own world, whether it's in politics, advertising, or even our own personal lives. How do we recognize when an argument isn't a genuine debate at all, but just a wolf's excuse? That's the real takeaway.